Throughout your life, how have you dealt with external and internal conflict? This episode of Exposition Media focuses on the young African man and his relationship to his emotions. It will follow the guided monologue of 5 young men as they discuss their evolution to manhood from the lens of their own personal emotional development. Through this episode, we hope to encourage other young men to dig deep and ask themselves similar questions. Our episodes focusing on men and mental health are directed by a woman, Pila. She is passionate about mental health and bringing awareness through art, and so these episodes have been an important conduit for exploration and exchange across genders, bridging a gap that due to culture has been left open for far too long. Men's mental health is a topic rarely discussed in the African context, and definitely not amongst mixed company. But through conversations like these, we hope to bring awareness to a greater problem and foster communication.
I tried.
The mental health crisis is one that has persisted.
A
lot of that focus is based on the fact that tough boys don't cry and men don't talk about their feelings, etc.
Hi, so tell me your name, your age, and what is your story?
So my name is Brian Zifuma. I'm 21 years old, and my story is that I went through a tragic loss in my life earlier this year. I lost my father, and it's at that point where I realized that there's no outlet for me to speak out. There's no outlet where I can comfortably say I'm comfortable and speak about what I want to speak about in terms of my mental health. I feel like for men, especially from what I've been through with my uncles and what I've gone through losing someone, I saw that it seems like the only emotion that we're allowed to show is anger or happiness or of some sort, and not even like true happiness. So I thought that it was time for me to start speaking up and speaking more about my mental health.
I'm Lawrence, I'm 24, and basically my story is that I've lived with depression and anxiety, and basically what that means is with depression, I'm mostly stuck in the past, and with anxiety, I'm stuck in the future. So basically it just means that I've never been able to live in the present moment, and for most of my life, I've just watched it pass by, either not having enough strength to do or even get out of bed, and the other one too scared to make a decision because of the overthinking.
My name is Jerome and I'm 22. So my story is that I've struggled with loneliness, anxiety, and just having the hardest time opening up. And it's something that's plagued me ever since I was young, and mostly because I think a part of me just kind of shut down ever since my father passed away, which is when I was 4 years old. And I don't think I actively ever dealt with the problem at the time. And to be honest, at the time, I don't think I was actually old enough to comprehend the whole concept of death, but it did actually start taking its toll on me as I started processing it with time. And I feel that I started taking unhealthy habits to try and cope with what I was going through. It actually got to a point whereby my friends would actually start noticing differences in me, and that's the point where I actually decided to actively start trying to work on myself and better myself in the most healthy ways possible.
My name is Chris Kagunda. I'm 21 years old, and my story, I've always been an overthinker. It's only until recently that I learned that that's a symptom of anxiety, but I've just always been someone who small things always spiral into like big problems, and it just, like, I spiral easily. Like, something can happen and it'll just, like, it can set me off the rails.
Hi, my name is Abraham Aweru. I'm 20 years of age, and my story. So this year I lost a friend, a good friend of mine, and that was obviously tragic. It made me think a lot. My overthinking was bad before, but it just became worse because I had so many questions. The questions lead to more things, and it just becomes a mess. At the moment, I'm just trying to deal with this overthinking thing, find a way to stop it, just end it, so I don't have to. I'm not constantly thinking about him, obviously, and other things that come with the overthinking.
Throughout your life, how have you dealt with external and internal conflict?
So when I was smaller, I was really into sports. So I played a lot of sports, which helped distract me, which didn't really help with coping with it. But eventually, as time went on, and like it took a tragic loss for me to sadly get here, but I'm thankful that I'm here because I found different outlets. So I blog, I journal, I meditate, I exercise, and I do a whole there's a whole process where I go through listening to music, to exercising, then meditating to think about it. Then when I'm comfortable with someone, I can talk about my issues, maybe after I've solved them.
So I work out a lot. A lot of working out, spending time with my friends. My friends are amazing, my family as well, but mostly working out because I'm in my zone. It's just my place to be. I love it.
When it's in terms of external conflicts, I feel like I try to not focus on the minimal things, but for the bigger things, I think I just try to give myself time to process and be honest with myself about my emotions and try my best to acknowledge what I'm going through and find the best way out of it.
What do you see when you think of your future in terms of your mental health? What do you strive to do?
I strive essentially to be able to identify like what triggers me and to be able to manage my anxiety better. I just kind of wanted to be in a place where it's like I can control it and I have more control of it, and just also understand it better and like why it happens, what triggered it like in the beginning, and yeah.
How do you encourage other people to take a look at themselves and assess where they're at?
I think if you actually lay out your life and focus on everything that's going on in it, the unhealthy things going on in it, you will notice a difference. I think that if you look back on your life, you can actually start pinpointing where you've actually started going wrong, and that's something I did with myself, and I self-analyzed, and that's when I decided I needed to seek help.
My story now is that I sought for help, I did the work, and yeah, I've been able to get through it. Yeah.
What did seeking out help look like for you, and what do you think practically other men like you can do to encourage seeking out help for their mental health?
So the thing with seeking help is not that it's gonna solve your problem like boom. It's really not, because I remember for at least 6 months I actually got worse, because through therapy it keeps unlocking more and more traumas or things that you didn't even remember that you went through. So you go through a slippery slope, and if I didn't have proper friends to guide me and a good support system, it actually could have gotten worse. But after 9 months, everything switched up, and I realized that life, I know it's gonna sound cheesy, but life is like, it's about the experiences, and you control how your experiences are meant to be, so you can choose your experiences to be filled with love and beauty and all the good vibes, so yeah.
So please, talk to your friends and ask the uncomfortable questions. See where you can be a partner of progress.